Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my second video. If you haven't seen the first one, please check it out. It talked a little bit about who I am, my background and such, so it might provide some context into who's speaking here. This video, I wanted to talk specifically about my approach and philosophy towards sales. I understand that this might not resonate with everybody, and so I wanted to get this out of the way right away. So, if you don't agree with me, you don't have to waste time watching. I hope you still watch and stick around, and maybe there's some nuggets of information that's useful. Maybe you find me entertaining. Maybe you want to make fun of me, but for every reason you can. I hope you get to watch the whole series. But some of you are going to resonate with what I'm saying, or going to have similar personalities as me, and I hope this can work for you as well. And really, it comes down to three basic principles that I follow. It doesn't matter who I'm speaking with. It could be an executive at a company. It could be someone tasked to find suppliers. It could be a small company. It could be a large company, an enterprise organization. On the consumer side, it could be a young person, an older person, someone with a big budget or a lot of money, someone who doesn't have a lot of money. Any sale interaction that I'm getting into, I like to follow these things because they really help me build a relationship, and they really help me sell better. And it starts with something very basic, but it's incredible how many people miss this or don't follow this. And that's really understanding who I'm speaking with, what they're looking for, and then presenting my solution, presenting my product in relationship to what they're interested in. And again, you might have experienced this yourself. There's a lot of salespeople that just go benefit, 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 and a little bit goes by and you're completely tuned out. You have no idea how much money this is saving you or what this is supposed to do for you. You're just looking for a TV and this guy's pitching you a projector. It's never going to make sense and it won't work. So really really try to understand who you're speaking with and what they're looking for. And it goes beyond that. Understand what their goals are, what they are looking to use this for. Understand what maybe there's some issues that they're having or some pain points that you can solve with what you're presenting to them. So really try to get to why they're interested in this service or product that you're offering, and then present in that way, and really kind of build that connection with them. And that's what this is really doing, is you're building a connection by understanding what this person is looking into or looking for, and that connection is trust. They understand that you understand them, and they can intuitively see that you have their best interest in mind, and you're presenting something that is going to be beneficial to them in whatever way you're relating this service or product that you have in relation to what they're looking for. So really always try to understand what they're interested in. And a great example of this is, I used to work for a company that sold trade show exhibits, and the owner of the company, great mentor of mine, shared with me a really cool concept. He told me that, Sunny, imagine you're calling to sell skis, and you're just calling out of the blue, and you're calling all these people that have no interest in buying skis. A lot of times they're just going to say no, and you're going to get disheartened, and it's going to get worse over time. And really, if you keep pitching to them, doesn't matter how low cost they are, doesn't matter how great your skis are, they're not going to be interested. But imagine speaking to somebody that's interested in skis, and then you call them out of the blue. There's a chance that you might have a qualified discussion with them once you uncover what they're looking for, or what their interest in skis are, what they are. That's Barney, by the way, behind me, just sniffing around. Once you uncover what they're interested in, once you uncover what type of mountains they go to, or advanced they are in skiing, whatever that is, they'll have a qualified discussion with you, which might lead to a sale. And there's going to be a chance that you will call someone who went to a mountain last week and their skis broke, and now you've got them at the perfect time. Now you have this discussion. It's much more qualified, and we'll get into that part of it, or the right timing at a later date. But for the first part, that conversation that you're going to have, this qualified conversation you're going to have with someone, is very, very important, because understanding what they're looking for and presenting yourself in that way is going to gain trust, which is one of the key things when selling something to anyone. The second principle, it sort of goes hand in hand with understanding and presenting, is is having a conversation and really having a discussion with the person you're speaking with. Do not make this a pitch. Whatever you're selling, you have the ability to have a conversation. Know what you're selling, back of your hand. You understand, you've probably heard that before. Understand where you're selling as a product, like the back of your hand, and then let the person you're speaking with share insight and add to the conversation, and maybe enrich what you understand, what you thought you understand about the product even a little bit more. Share with you what problems they've had in the past. Share with you, what they're looking to solve with your product. Share with you maybe some insight that you might have missed in your training that nobody knows, that hey, this customer is using this way. Oh, that's awesome, I didn't even know that. And let them know that. Make them feel good, and really have this conversation that doesn't have to be social. You don't have to talk to them about their kids going to school. You can if you want to, and if that works for you, but try to build this conversation, which is building trust with this person, and they're going to really value your advice when you tell them to purchase and what you tell them to purchase. So again, start by understanding what they're looking for. Have a conversation with the person you're speaking with rather than pitching to them. And then lastly, try to, if possible, look at the best interest of all the parties involved. This is important, and you want to find this middle ground. This is hard for me sometimes at organizations, and I've had to leave companies for this, where I did not feel that there was a clear value to the person I was selling this to, and the value was mostly for the company, in some cases not even for me. But really kind of understanding, this is the value for this customer, this is the value for the company, this is the value for me, and being able to maximize that value. And you're really a mediator. So if I'm selling this product to somebody, and software is a really good example of this, but it applies to many different areas, where if a customer is looking for something, I want to advocate it on my side to make it so that they will adapt our software or customize our software to accommodate what this customer is looking for. But I also want to go back to the customer and talk about, hey, my company is really willing to do this, but I feel like it's going to take this. And then also, for myself, it's going to be valuable because sometimes that means more money, etc. But really kind of try to find the middle ground where everyone involved is happy, and all parties are having a good time doing business with each other. This is going to build long-lasting relationships. When all the parties are happy, the customers are going to send more business to you. They're going to come back to you in whatever form, whether it's consumer, whether they're buying a car from you, you're advocating for the customer, the company, yourself, whether they are buying a big piece of software for you, paying millions of dollars a year, whether they're purchasing a TV from you, whatever that is, whether they're buying a gym membership, they're going to be more open to sending business your way, as well as coming back to you if they trust you. And your company is, of course, going to be happy with the transaction because you also looked after them at the same time. So take that into account when you're presenting, when you're understanding a product, when you're starting at an organization, when you're representing a product or selling a service. Take into account what the value is that you're getting, the value your customer is getting, the value the company is getting, and always try to maximize the value for each one. And sometimes you're not going to find the perfect combination of the three, but try to keep parties happy because it's going to make you have happier customers in the long term, and it's going to strengthen your relationship with the business you're working for. And again, these are just values and philosophy I'm sharing here, just to again be very clear. This is not any kind of sales tactic at the moment, and we'll talk about different approaches I'll use when I'm cold calling a person, when I'm trying to convert someone into a signed contract, or when I am presenting a demo to someone, or when I'm pitching someone face to face, or I'm knocking on someone's door to try to sell them a product. All of those things we will cover, and I will bring in some folks that have worked with me that have been superstars as well to talk a little bit about their experience. But at the moment, I want to just share with you the guiding philosophy of me doing business. And in my experience, I've done this more instinctively. I didn't realize that these things are things that I followed until sort of recent years. So it was instinctive, and one of the reasons why that was is I was a people pleaser. So I was always looking to make everybody happy, and that in turn made everybody that was involved in a transaction and a deal, I was looking to make each one of those parties happy with that transaction. And what happened here is, over sort of a long period of time, I started to see that, hey, this is actually working in my favor if I'm doing it correctly and if I'm not really screwing over one of the parties involved. So this is something that's important. The conversation component is important, and I'm sure most of you have the ability to conversate, whether it's in a social setting, whether it's your family and friends. It's not very different. Sometimes it feels much higher pressure, but really it's not. Smile, talk. People are going to react to what you're saying, and don't put the pressure of, hey, just buy this now. People will continue to have this discussion with you, and understand who you're talking to and what they're looking for. It's basic, but it's very, very, very key, and people will appreciate you for understanding them as well. So yeah, that's it for the principle. Again, I hope that resonates with you, and if some of that is too basic, it doesn't make sense, or if you have questions, feel welcome to give me feedback, and I'll make sure maybe I change my content or my approach to content in the future based on your feedback. Appreciate you sticking and watching the video, and see you next time. Take care.